Hi everyone, Tamarah here. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video and let's get right into it. So today we're talking about two bigwigs in the YouTube sphere, two big influencers, commentators, whatever you'd like to call them, YouTubers, I guess. We have Joe Rogan and we have Pewdiepie. So, been around the world in 80 days with my hair. So, I wanted to talk about this news when it first came out, and I didn't. You know, things got really busy work-wise in terms of, things got really busy work-wise on my end. I'm working remotely, so, you know, when I have time for videos, I really want to make that time. And tonight was just a perfect time to get to it. And to be honest with you, moving forward, I want to make more of a commitment to be a bit more consistent with videos. So, I hope you like the new setup. I have lights to the side of me and behind me. I have my microphone. When I'm on the go, I actually have a camera. It's behind my iPad here. But I'll be at least, and I have a selfie stick, so I'll at least be able to take things on the road whenever I like and record on the go. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I wanted to talk to you today about Joe Rogan and his decision to sign an exclusive deal with Spotify. So this news came out, I believe, May 19th. I've taken a whole bunch of notes. Sorry, you probably can't see them, but I took a whole bunch of notes from different articles around the internet, and I'll link the articles below. But yeah, so in case you don't know who Joe Rogan is, or PewDiePie, you're living under a rock, big time. So, Joe Rogan apparently started his podcast in 2009, and he has been streaming this content on YouTube ever since. I probably got to know Joe Rogan in the last 2 years or so. He really wasn't on my radar like that. I know that there are people who are like diehard fans and listen to him like every day. I'm not one of them. No offense. He's a great interviewer, and he does a good job talking to people and getting them at ease and taking them all these rabbit holes and talking about different things. But I'm the kind of person, if I don't like the guest and I don't know the guest, I'm not watching. I find a lot of times he talks about really weird stuff sometimes, like weed and monkeys and all sorts of other stuff, and I'm like, okay, I mean, great, I guess it works for your audience, but for me, like, I like a bit more substance to what we're talking about. I do like when he starts hitting on philosophy and stuff and things like that. I tend to watch when he has more like controversial guests, because especially the ones that get banned off YouTube. Like we have like Stefan Molyneux, we have Gavin McInnes, Alex Jones, or if he has like conservative podcasters, because I lean more towards the right of center, so I tend to listen to them more. We had Stephen Crowder was on the show, Ben Shapiro, even some left-wing people. I'm currently partway through his podcast with Deborah So. I know he did one originally, but I'm watching the most recent one. So this is August 2020. So whichever one was the most recent one at the time you're watching, around the date I just mentioned, that's the one I'm watching, and I'm gonna go back and watch the other one. I watched one of his Jordan Peterson interviews. I'm gonna watch the other one soon. Edward Snowden, I watched that one. That was a good episode. I've been meaning to watch his podcast on Elon Musk too. I haven't gotten around to it, but Elon Musk is a very interesting guy, and I definitely plan to be watching more of his segments on Joe Rogan. So yeah, if I know who the guest is and like they're interesting to me, I'll watch. But if it's just somebody I don't know, then I'm not necessarily gonna make the time for it. But I thought this news was so interesting that he made an announcement. I heard it on Spotify, and I read it on the blog, on the internet articles through different news outlets, that he is going to. So it says, starting on September 1st, the podcast will be available on Spotify as well as all platforms And then at the end of the year, it will move exclusively to Spotify, including the video version. And he's also explained that while clips of his podcast would still be available on YouTube, the full version of the show would only be found on Spotify by the end of 2020. And there were so many things that I was thinking in my head when I heard this news. First of all, I was like, wait, what? Joe Rogan's leaving? Because I figured, Joe Rogan has one of the biggest podcasts ever. He is the biggest podcaster in the game at this moment. He has a very large YouTube following. I didn't look it up before this video, but let's go on YouTube right now and see just what his main channel had. And we know that he has the Joe Rogan, he has JRE clips channel as well. So Powerful JRE, let's see, it has, okay, so Powerful JRE has 9.27 million subscribers. The JRE clips, so that's the one where he just features specific videos, clips, highlights from his podcast. That one has 5.04 million subscribers. Okay, so he's doing quite well for himself. He has that many subscribers, and just scrolling through his different videos here and there, some of his videos get 2 million views, some get 4 million views, some get 15 million views. Edward Snowden one, yeah. There's a few I'm actually scrolling and seeing, and I'm like, yo, I need to watch this. I just got into Tim Pool, so I'm gonna be watching that video. Robert Downey Jr. is another one that I wanted to see. Yeah, so trust me, I get into him a bit more here and there. Russell Peters, he's from my hometown, Brampton. I don't live there anymore, which is why I can shout it out. But yeah, I lived there for like 25-ish years of my life. Yeah. Or no, not 25. Probably about 23 years old. I moved there when I was 5, and I moved away around 25. So about 20 years. Yeah, so about 20 odd years of my life there. So yeah, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, so there's a bunch of people that I plan to watch from his channel. And I already have a Spotify premium subscription, so I definitely know that I'm going to keep on watching him. But this is big news. This is great. Why? Because I've been saying this for years, not on YouTube, but just to my family and to any friends that were interested in listening to me. YouTube needs some competition. The big three need competition. I'm a social media person, and I've been doing social media since 2012, and I've been working steadily on it. And the big three would be Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Those are the biggest social media platforms that are out there right now. I know that there are different social media platforms that will eventually take preeminence or prominence, because the youth don't want to be on the platforms that all the old people are on. Let's keep it 100. Everybody was liking Facebook until the parents tried Facebook, and then everybody went to Twitter, and now everybody's on Twitter, and then people went to Instagram, and now we're starting to get more and more older people on Instagram. So TikTok has been a big thing, but of course we know that Trump is looking to ban TikTok. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see what's happening with that. And of course we also have Instagram stealing from TikTok with their new Reels platform, their new Reels functionality. I haven't tested it yet, but actually if you'd like a video of that, of me testing out Instagram Reels, leave a comment below. I would love to test it out and tell you my thoughts and kind of compare it to the TikTok platform. Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, back to Joe Rogan. As I was saying, the big three need competition. I think it's really getting to the point right now where it's funny. When I did my master's, I did my master's degree thesis on the public sphere. Basically a concept of where I don't even know how to say his name, Jürgen Habermas. I don't even know how to say his name, that's embarrassing. I did like my whole thesis on his work. But based on Habermas's research on the public sphere and how it was basically a free space for the exchange of ideas, and now we're at a place where that's social media. We don't have the coffee shops and the public squares that we used to have in the past. Now we have social media platforms. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, and other smaller platforms like Snapchat, Tumblr, Reddit. And you know, these are the places where people are able to go online and share their opinions, share their thoughts, share their content. And you realize though that before, when they first started, back in like 2006, 2007, whatever, these platforms are like the Wild West. And sometimes they still are, looking at you at Twitter. Sometimes they still are. But, you know, they were like the Wild West. Like, people would be doxing people, sharing their personal information, like their living address, sensitive information about them. Or people would be creating videos just attacking people. There was a lot of bullying on the platform. There was a lot of not safe for work content. And these platforms have really had to tighten up ship, you know. And unfortunately, within their tightening up ship, I was taking a look at it, known as the Adpocalypse, basically the Adpocalypse of 2017. We now find that channels that choose to talk about certain issues or highlight certain content, they're not being put at the forefront anymore. Their ideas, their thoughts, their opinions are not getting the forefront of the attention. I know that for Joe Rogan himself, like even his recent interview, the one I'm watching right now with Deborah So, that was being shadow banned on Twitter and other platforms. And sometimes if you would search, sometimes there have been other instances where you search for some of his videos, you can't find them. And he's had to raise concerns that his videos are being shadow banned and people can't find the videos that he's doing. There's the fact that, you know, YouTube actively practices censorship. I literally, while I was researching and taking notes for this video, I found out that there's actually a list of words that you are not allowed to say on YouTube, because if you say those words on YouTube, you will get demonetized. I just had an idea. This is a stupid idea, but I might one time, if I feel led, just take a moment and just open up that file and just read through all those words and say, these are all the words that YouTube doesn't let us say on their platform, and just go through it, maybe make them into a song or something. I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm tempted so bad to do it. But yeah, you know, you look at Joe Rogan and you're like, wow, he has been working on YouTube at least on his podcast since 2009, so he's had a decade in the business. He is now the top podcaster out there, and he has been sharing his content, pushing his work, and in a way that's been really rather organic, you know? You see him interviewing people on both sides of the aisle, really trying to make sure that he just has a good conversation with whoever he's talking to, and people love him for it, and people love how open and honest and authentic he seems, you know? And I can see that. I can see those qualities about him, and I can appreciate that. And the fact that YouTube is losing him now, like, it makes me wonder, like, what was it? Was it the apocalypse that drove him away? Was it the fact that, you know, there's certain banned words and banned content that is messing with his algorithm, messing with his freedom of speech, messing with the way he's able to do his business? I wonder about that. But then again, I also have other concerns. I wonder to myself, like, would he be able to sustain the same amount of numbers that he had on YouTube? Because I know of different YouTubers who in the past have said, oh, I'm going to leave YouTube, join me over on X platform, and then they leave YouTube and nobody follows them. And I gotta be honest, I'm guilty of it too. There are some people who were on YouTube who I said, I'm going to check them out. And even now, I can't even lie to you, even now, there are people who have been booted off the YouTube platform who I used to check out their content rather regularly, and now I don't even watch them anymore. Like, there's so much on YouTube just to watch right now, like, I don't even get around to going to check these people out and to check what they're doing on their own platforms. because like I know, like for instance, Alex Jones. Alex Jones, people have been ragging on Alex Jones for forever, and I'm not gonna lie, he seems like a crazy kook. Crazy kook. Seems a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but let's be real here. 2020, it seems like everything he's been talking about since from way back when till now, it seems like everything is hitting the fan in 2020. And for me, I almost think to myself, like, maybe I need some of those crazy conspiracy theories in my life. I mean, the world can't get any crazier, right? And